As you've probably heard before, the Queen's character and the rising of the Shield Hero is quite unique. Even since the beginning, the Queen's character was a mystery to us. She was just this mystery character who reigned supreme over the king and was known as the true ruler of Melromarc. We learned about the king and the princess, but we were really never told about the queen until later on into the story. We first started learning about her when she sent Malty to Melromarc. All we knew was that the queen was trying to calm the other nations down because of the situation with the heroes. The queen's name is Mirellia Melromarc. She is seen as a beautiful, fair-skinned woman with purple hair that is tied up into a bob with collarbone-length bangs on each side, purple hair, and purple pale lipstick. Intricately decorated royal gown with what appears to be a bronze breastplate. She has a regal presence that commands the attention of everyone around her. As compared to her husband, Malty Melromarc, Mirellia appears to be more of a benevolent and proficient ruler who puts her country before her family. But she still cares for her family and protects them. Mirellia is both a very loving ruler for her people and a parent for her daughters. As a mother, she is very realistic, strategic, cunning, and political in using her children. She acts more of a queen than a mother to her daughters, though she might care for them in her heart. She was willing to use Malty as an effective piece for her plan in making the Church of the Three Heroes fall into a trap, and didn't hesitate to punish Malty to the point of making her a slave. She's also diplomatic and makes for a skilled negotiator. Unlike all in her nation, she didn't discriminate against demi-humans and also tried to improve their condition. As noticed by Naofumi Iwatani, she is the only person in the castle to treat demi-humans properly. She has a great interest in the legends of the heroes, but was disappointed in the current generation of heroes for not living up to the name. She shows a sadistic side later as she gave Trash a long list of humiliating punishments, and that's the king, by the way. As the one who originally had Malty be fascinated with Philolials, she is also enamored and very fond of them. Mirellia's country was at war with Siltvelt for centuries. She fell in love and married a person who rose to fame from being a common soldier to a Kane hero later. He was revealed to be a legitimate third heir of Fabre. For political and moral reasons, she tried to improve the condition of the demi-humans in her country and tried to make peace with the demi-human nation, because of which she ascends those who favor demi-humans to nobility, and created a demi-human protected village for demi-humans. This halted the centuries of wars and presented a decade of peace with the rival nations of Siltvelt, which is the exact opposite of Melromarc, where the demi-humans dominated and humans are treated badly. Siltvelt also follows her example and set up human protected villages. It was revealed that all her actions stem from her hobbies of the legend of the four heroes and the inspiration of Fable, where humans and demi-humans coexisted in peace. Her nation has useless squabbles. Before the waves, the queen was involved in diplomacy. Melromarc's domestic affairs were also excellent, and she left the country to the one she trusted as her right-hand man. But he died in the wave. Images from the war was reported all over the world. There was a world conference and every country was represented by their king or queen. Of course, there were countries that were on bad terms with each other, Melromarc and Siltvelt, for example. There was a prophecy that stated the world was facing its end, so their hostilities were put onto a hold until the waves were dealt with. It was decided that Melromarc was fourth in line to perform the summoning. She works on diplomatic relationships while her husband runs internal affairs. Just as manipulative as her oldest daughter Malty, but puts her skills to more benevolent uses. She loves to hear the legend of the original four heroes and doesn't share the view of her nation's religion. However, it saddens that the current generation isn't living up to their name. During the appearance of the waves, she attended the World Conference in regards to fight the waves and summon the heroes. It was accepted that her nation would be fourth in order to summon the heroes, and also specified that each nation should summon only one hero, and that is two in the presence of the world leaders. Though they summon in a particular country, the heroes are to travel the world and fight off the waves. Those were the few conditions that were agreed upon. But to shock everyone, including herself, Melromarc already summoned all the four heroes, which is news to herself. It seems the church of the three heroes took advantage of the queen's absence to summon the heroes. That led to a lot of criticism from the other countries. It was the problem that the queen was taking care of that led to her delayed absence. She saved face by saying that any nation would have tried to monopolize the heroes, and her nation was just trying to save themselves first, and added that it was not wise to attack the nation which was in possession of the four holy heroes. Mirellia proposed an idea of sharing the heroes with the other nations by sending envoys to meet and give them an offer so they would move to their nation. But what happened next was a surprise for herself and her second daughter Malty, who was accompanying her in diplomacy. All the heroes refused to meet the envoys, including the shield hero, whose treatment was more worrisome. While Malty was puzzled by this development, Mirellia guessed what was going on. Again, every nation blamed her of breaching the agreement. As they were preparing for a hero welcome to their nation, they were left with much disappointment. The demi-human nation which worshipped the shield hero was furious at her. Mirellia explained that all the heroes found scums in her nation and were currently at the removal of filth there. She also brought to the attention of how the last shield hero died in Siltveld and told them not to point fingers at her. Knowing that there was no turning back, she wrote numerous letters to her husband emphasizing that they need to treat all the heroes equally and take special care of the shield hero. She gained the full support of Fulbert by certain promises in hopes to find a way around it. At first, she was more concerned about the ruckus caused by the shield hero, such as attacking others with balloon monsters, the trouble stirred up at the diner, and also his way of avoiding anyone getting close to him, including the demi-humans and others who favored him. By this information given by her shadows, she surmised the reason for his distrust. She concluded that her husband wasn't going to comply with her words and decided to take action on her own. She managed to secure a slave as Naofumi's comrade with great difficulty, which is Raftalia. Kept on sending soldiers with letters advising her husband to treat all the heroes equally and to take care of the shield hero, but it was all in vain. Mirellia also learned about her husband and elder daughter. She learned that Malty was misusing her power and lavish spreading of country treasures to their own gain. They also started shunning all nobles who favored demi-humans. Mirellia was happy at the news of the subjugation of the waves by the heroes and the shield hero's effort in protecting a village despite his poor treatment. She learned of Naofumi's reputation beginning to rise, however, her happiness short-lived. She was infuriated at her husband for arranging a rigged duel between the spear hero and shield hero to take away the slave of the shield hero. Alcray also treated heroes in a biased manner, with shield hero of most favored and the shield hero being the least or none. This became a new reason for conflict with her neighboring nations, and she worked to her bones with her diplomatic skills to release the tension. She also burnt the portraits of her first daughter and her husband to release her own stress. Her letters remained unanswered by her husband, and his actions towards the shield hero got worse. He also ignored the messengers sent by her. By the time her husband named the spear hero as the lord of the wave-affected village, where Malty levied heavy taxes under the pretense of rebuilding, the queen sent her shadows warning her to back down. Not wanting to give up, Malty challenged the shield hero to a race with the spear hero for the lordship of the village. Despite the cheating of the spear hero's side, shield hero emerged victorious, earning him goodwill among the people. Mirellia also hears about the consequences of the other heroes' poorly thought actions. While the shield hero cleaning up all their messes, earning the trust of her people, she finally fell sick due to overwork. She became more furious after her husband sent an irrelevant letter wishing to see Malty. Reaching her limit, she begins to make her own plan with the shadows against the coat of the three heroes, as she already keeps tab on their evil plot. Malty was lost on the way and was helped by Naofumi to return home without knowing who the other person was. After learning their identity, she tried to negotiate with the shield hero but was shunned by him for being the royal of the nation. After the third wave, Naofumi emerges victorious. It led to a series of events starting with the rift between Naofumi and Altre that widened farther. The cult of the three heroes became more obnoxious of the results and became desperate. And the world diplomats were concerned of the heroes not cooperating with each other. Malty, in hopes of mending the relationship between Naofumi and her father, begins to chase after Naofumi, who was on his way to the demi-human country for a class upgrade. Mirellia hoped the cult, along with Malty, plans to execute Malty and pins it on Naofumi so the cult can save face in the public for their teaching and Malty can get the throne. As Mirellia planned, Naofumi was forced to take Malty under his protection. Mirellia also ordered the shadows protecting Malty to arrest Naofumi if he's become a threat to Malty. Mirellia was constantly informed about the situation and was surprised to know that Malty was getting close to Naofumi and was acting her age. Finally, the cult of the three heroes was showing their true colors and tried to execute all the heroes with their companions and the princesses. Both Ran and Itsuki were saved by the Queen's shadows in the nick of time, and were informed of the cult's subjugation force coming to aid them. Finally, the four heroes lined up to fight the Pope, and Naofumi, with the aid of the Queen, gave the finishing blow and saved the day. As soon as she returned to the castle, she permanently deprived Trash, and the other name will be on the screen right now, of the authority of the imperial family. Punishment for their evil deeds, she wanted to take special care of the shield hero, as he may be the key for the everlasting peace between her and her rival nation. She even went on planning to marry her daughter to the shield hero to end the war and to attain the goodwill of the demi-humans and Siltvelt. But this plan was ruined because of the action her daughter, Malty, and her husband. This is noted by her scolding to Malty, as she told her she might even have considered giving her the throne if she had remained in Naofumi's party and seduced him rather than betray him. Now she held hopes for her second daughter, Malty, for the same idea. Mirellia begs for Naofumi's forgiveness and asks for his help in saving the world by staying in Melromarc. Tries to persuade him in every way, as his choice may lead to a war. She was able to gain the trust of the hero with the condition of it being the only time and the magic contact of her being a slave if she were to betray him. She promised him better and preferential treatment for his cooperation. She cleared all of the fake charges against him, overlooking his own crime, which was done due to circumstances, and punished her husband and daughter for all their crimes. Naofumi accepts her to be a better administrator and realizes that things might have been different if she were to run things from the start of his arrival. He also realized that she could have handled the heroes more efficiently. He also guessed that she might have pushed her daughter to a political marriage with him without him even knowing it, under the guise of love marriage. Mirellia served as a strategist for the Allied army. She has potential magical abilities that overpowered even the High Priest, as he wielded a legendary weapon. Mirellia is a capable magic user, as she is able to use the highest level of magic to non-heroes, the Drifthook class. She is able to use ceremonial magic with large groups. She has an affinity in both fire and water magic, although she tends to focus on ice-based spells. Her abilities read as Drifthook Icicle Prison, manifests as a cage around the target to restrain them. This spell can be upgraded to all Drifthook Ice prisons to imprison multiple targets. Her next spell is Icicle Needle, uses ice magic to greatly slow the target down. Her next spell is Icicle Sword, summons a swirling cloud of ice crystals, which then coalesce into a massive flying blade. The last spell that we have for her that's important is her first Glow Fire. This ability summons a bright fire to illuminate the surroundings. Keep watching more videos like this. Click this video on the screen right now to stay in the loop, or click this other one to learn more about the shield hero.